Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tarnation TV, the YouTube broadcasting service that hangs out inside NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Of course, this evening we are at TMP for the finale, the final race, the championship tonight. One of four drivers will take it, and we will observe what happens. This is a neat track. I don't think I've ever run here. Homestead, day to night. Kind of a neat little trick they pulled. It sort of looks like Twilight, but it's under the lights. It's kind of cool. Either way, my name is Blaine Donlin, joined by Rod Weston.
Yes. Back here for the championship round. It's for those of you guys that haven't been around here, they do 4 rounds. They do a 10-race series in Cup, 10-race series in Trucks, 10-race series in the Aero 88, and then 4-race series for the championship at Homestead. Tonight, that is what we're doing. We have 4 drivers. That would be Richard Nathid, Viper, and Josh, too, made their way in by finishing, in the top 3 out of the drivers that were eligible. And then with a very interesting last race, John Wall had an opportunity to possibly make it in. Had he won the race, he finished second to Josh, too. And that gave the last spot to Tom Goodman. So those are your 4 drivers tonight that are going for the championship. The rest of the drivers out there, well, they're going for 5th spot. We thought probably John Wall would have that pretty much easily wrapped up tonight. But John Wall probably won't make it for the race, but he's going to try to come in and chat with us a little bit. So I think it'd be pretty much between either Jamie Tedder and Tom Musa, who will be probably battling for that 5th spot.
Yeah, it's crazy. It all comes down to this. It's just neat how they operate here too. They put everybody into this IROC mod, and the old school Project Wildfire IROC mod. And of course, why not? Final race at Homestead. This is usually where it ends up being. Most leagues will operate that way. So, and this, like I said, this is a cool version of it, day to night. I don't think I've ever run here, but I'm going to do it tonight. So if you're actually, I don't know if it's going to look the same broadcasting, but you said it actually changes?
It'll actually slowly but surely change from daytime to nighttime. And how quick that does that is literally just depends on how many laps you have set up to run. Obviously, if you do a full 100% lap, 100% laps race, it would probably take quite a while to do it. The shorter the race, the quicker it will. But by the end of the race, they will be kind of in darkness. It's kind of cool.
That's neat. I wonder how they figured out how to do that.
I'm not as sure. Whoever come up with these track builders come up with these new things all the time. That's pretty cool.
Huh. It is. It's these little tricks, like they can somehow animate a different sky or something. That's pretty wild. But yeah, we're going to watch that tonight. I don't know how I missed this version of this track, but
not a lot of people have run it either. I mean, the leagues that we've televised, because obviously Saturday night we only run Talladega, over here they run different tracks. We do run different tracks at SMO, but it's one of those tracks that somebody had made. It's a pretty cool track. Drives pretty similar to the I guess they call it the PWF version. So there is a good groove on the high side. That it's probably not the fastest way around the track, but it's a little more easier on the tires, I guess I would say. But the fastest way obviously is right around the bottom. But if you're really pushing the car down there, you're going to wear the tires a little bit. Speaking of that, they're running, like you say, 107 laps. They can do about 21 laps on a set of tires. On fuel. So they'll be pitting more for fuel than tires. They can do about 31 laps on the set of tires if you can manage the fuel. So one of the things they have here is they cannot take tires under the yellow flag conditions. They have to take tires under green flag conditions. If you do not do that, or somehow you forget, then you're going to be required to drive around, go past the start-finish line, drive down pit road, do a stop and go. Your choice if you want to take tires again. You don't want to because they only have 18 tires for you guys to use for the whole night. So, that's just the way their rules are. So, it kind of changes things up. You can't just go out there. If a caution should have to fall on lap 20 and everybody's still out there, they can't go in and take tires, but you'll see them pit as soon as the green flag comes out. They'll be back around the next time to take your tires.
So interesting you were talking about that, because we were sent that little document that TMP will be running another series here near the end of the month that they're only running one set of tires, one tank of fuel, 1X, 80 to 120 laps. I guess depends on the percentage of what they're running. What exactly is that? What are they calling that? It's a late model series, right? They're running 10 races.
It's a summer late model series for TMP, and it's basically what they're trying to do is it's more trying to make it kind of like what you would get at your local short track. So you know what I mean. When I raced at my local track in my youth, we didn't come in and change tires. We didn't come in and change fuel. You went out, you ran, a 20-lap feature. We could have gone a lot further.
Run the event and go home.
Yeah, pretty much. So they're kind of doing it similar to that, although they are going to do a little bit something different. The qualifying procedure is a little different. Instead of going out during qualifying like they do now, everybody goes out, does the best they can. That's where they start. What they're going to do during the qualifying session is will have a practice session. At the end of the practice session, they will take your times that you accrued during the practice session, and then we'll have 2 heats. In other words, they'll restart this practice session. We'll have 2 heats. Anybody who was in an odd number will be in heat number 1. Anybody who was in an even number will be in heat number 2. And then they will take the 2 drivers from each heat out of that. Okay. Now they've basically made their way into the field, and there's points that will be awarded. So obviously you want to go out, try to win, get the most points. Then they'll turn around and they will do a qualifying session, but those 4 drivers that finish in the top 2 are not allowed to qualify. They have to go to the back, and then they'll go out and run the race. Mind you, like you said, green to checkered, you can't take fuel, you can't take tires. That doesn't always work out sometimes. You get spun, a tire gets worn down. So if you have to go in and take tires, now there's no rule says you have to go in during a green flag or whatever. Just if you're involved in an incident, the tires popped or whatever, you have to replace it. You will incur a 1-lap penalty no matter where you finish.
Yeah, there's no excuses, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. They like to do things a little different over here. They don't always want to follow the norm. They want to just kind of make it different. And Tom and Roger are the 2 guys that run this. That's Tom Musa, who will be in the 4 tonight. Roger Nevelsek, who normally drives the 51. He is not racing for this in this series. He kind of took a little hiatus, just started to come back with his son wanted to race. So tonight he is up in the NASCAR booth, issuing penalties if need be, keeping a track of, who's taking what for tires. So, and not only doing that, it's not so much, saying, slapping your hand, you didn't do it. It's also, if somebody goes, oh crap, how many tires do I have left? Right. Roger will say, you have this many tires left. So right. It's not all just a penalty box kind of thing, but it's also kind of a helping out the drivers so that, they can concentrate more on their driving. And if they should, they can get that, they can be, have a knowledge of, what's going on.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And the mod they're using for that is the LMP version 2, so the late model project. Yep. And that's a really cool mod. I've raced that one before, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Noticing one thing, I did beat you in qualifying this week. That's not a very normal thing for me.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, but while we're doing this, let's just run through real quick the qualifying for tonight. We're able to qualify for this race. So on the pole tonight will be Tom Musa. He is one of the guys trying to fight for the 5th spot tonight. Second out on the outside row, one of the guys going for the championship, that would be Rich Napick. Starting 3rd, that'll be Richard Finkel. 4th, the man, the myth, the legend, I'd like to say in his own mind, but, the one and the only Dan Rubino. Starting in the 5th spot tonight, that'll be Tom Goodman, the guy that made it in on points for the night. 6th will be Viper, one of your championship guys. 7th will be Dick Jordan. 8th will be Josh 2, one of the lead guys in there. He's going to get one last week to get himself into this. And rounding out the field tonight will be, I read the wrong way, but rounding out the field tonight will be Robert Spring. So Tom Goodman does it. Well, I was in racing, the practice trim. That's not.
Right, were you in? Yeah, I was going to say, because I was
know.
flipping through
just
the cars,
realized
and I'm
it.
like, I think, because Rubino's
Tom
back
Goodman,
there.
it's Tom Goodman, Finkel, Napick, Viper, Musa, Gordon, Rubino, Josh 2, and then Robert Spring is your end guy. So I was reading the wrong list. Yeah, you got it,
There, we got them
new
all.
guys,
We got them all. Look at all these different colors. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Hey, I got to make some mistakes or I'm not human,
Yeah. Yeah, it's your first day. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, first day. Looking in the chat real quick, we got Doggy that says, go Cal. My daughter Mackenzie says hi, and Viper says hello from the cockpit of the 24.
Yeah, Viper would be streaming on his own YouTube channel. He's always usually inside the car streaming from that angle too. So that's neat if you want to head over to youtube.com/@Viper Simulations and Gaming. You can see the view from the 24 car. Oh,
Tom Goodman got a really, really good start. Got a little loose on the bottom, slid right up in front of Finkel, and then that kind of messed him up on the exit of the corner, tagged the wall. As soon as he did that, Finkel was able to get by him. Finkel was looked like he almost was in a drift through that corner. But
yeah, these guys are using the whole track, that's for sure. This is a safer barrier version too, so that's good.
Yeah. The only downside to the safer barrier versions that I've seen at some of these tracks is that safer barrier is mean. So if you clip that thing, it does a lot more damage than it does if you if you just hit the concrete. You bounce off the concrete. Sometimes the safer walls have a tendency to dig in a little bit and do a lot more damage.
Yeah, and it narrows up the track. And not a lot, obviously, but it is a little bit narrower. Like you'd have to, if you're going to use the whole track, you'll use a little bit less when it's safer barrier project.
If you pay attention, though, this track doesn't have the safer barrier on the straightaways, only in the corners.
Yep.
So that helps a little bit sometimes, but I know like Pocono 05 and this a PWF, they did have problems with, not necessarily problems, but if you kind of impact that, it doesn't end well.
Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock. That sounds like we've got John Wall in the room.
Yeah.
Made it too late to make the race, so he's out here visiting with us.
Yeah, I was a little late for the party. Like I said last week, if I can't make the race, I'm gonna try to swing in and say hello and see what we can do with these guys here.
Well, I was kind of thinking that you would pretty much come down here and dominate the race, and maybe finish in that 5th spot in points. It's something, you know what I mean? But then I heard that you're not going to make it, so you're handing that battle over to Jamie Tedder, who I haven't seen tonight, so that would be, and Tom Musa. So Tedder's not here, so that means Tom Musa is going to be the favorite for that 5th spot.
Yeah, I think Jamie and I have been plagued with our work schedules here as of late. And of course, next week is probably when it's going to start changing on my end, but by then it's too late. But I'll at least I'll have bowling.
Yeah.
What do you do for work?
I am a locomotive engineer with Sunrail out of Central Florida.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It keeps me busy. I love it. I can honestly say that I enjoy what I do. And a lot of people, they gripe and complain how they hate their job, but I love my job.
I love my job too.
My part about that, but I would just me not knowing, it seems as though it would be kind of boring to me, but maybe not.
Well, there are days because it's the same line, the same route, usually the same times every day. So it's Groundhog Day every day, but every day is different. I say every day is the same, but every day is different because you throw in different elements, different people, of course, different close calls, and all the factors of people that are not using their head around the grade crossings. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, I can imagine that's part of the job that would not be fun with the things that can happen at the crossings, but it sounds cool though.
Yellow flag is up. Looks like Spring got tangled up with somebody back there. I'll rewind that and see what happened. I saw it off to the corner of the screen there. Oh, wow. Okay, so who's that? Tom Musa. have to go in helicopter view to see this one.
It looked like Lusa had a little trouble off the corner there, and
Yeah.
walked right into spring.
Tom Goodman making the trip down pit road.
Hard
Richard
to the
Knapp,
right.
Piper, your guys that are running in the points, racing for the championship there. 3 of them headed down pit road. All 4 of them headed down.
That's what it was. He and Rubino got tangled up there, and spring kind of caught the end of it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It looked like spring almost got around him, too.
Interesting that all the drivers that are, you're running for the championship, except for one, there was one exception, I think that's RC that came down with them, all elected to come down and pit and get their fuel. Remember, they can't take tires, but they can come down and get fuel. So they're just trying to, I guess if you look at it that way, you got to beat the guys. If they come in and take fuel and you don't, then it goes, a little bit further, and the caution comes out at the wrong time where other people have pitted and you haven't, whatever. You might have an advantage, you might have a disadvantage. So they're kind of monkey see, monkey do right now.
Yeah, I think if I was in the race, that's exactly what I would be doing. Anytime the caution comes out, I would probably top off every time, see who I'm racing close with, and kind of mirror what they do.
Well, Tom was telling me that they can only do 21 laps on fuel, but they can do 31 laps on the tires. So it makes sense to come in, take some fuel, just because you can go further on that set of tires, and quite possibly you may be able to save a set for later. Just if it comes into it that way, instead of going to the 21 lap mark and then pitting. And if you're going to pit, you're going to take tires anyways, but.
Yeah, absolutely. We know what happened to Josh too. Was it last season? He ran it short there at Trenton, and fuel mileage definitely plays a factor in the TMP races.
Actually won races here at Homestead just based on fuel mileage. We'd gotten a late race caution. Of course, I was running them with Hobo, and they ran. They didn't have a tire rule like this, but they. We all went down, we all took 4 tires, took fuel, and I started clutching right from that get-go. I mean, we could go just about close to the distance, so I started clutching every lap. Yeah, I got a little behind, but once they started dropping down the pit road, and I didn't have to, that paid enough dividends, so I ended up winning the race.
I love that type of strategy, watching a guy somehow make that tank last. I mean, we've seen guys do it before, and it's just crazy. I figure there's no way you can do it on 2 stops, right? And sure enough, they make it happen.
The guy above us here,
they run out of fuel, in the burnout.
I remember an Aero 88 race where I showed up to run it, and I couldn't race with Tom. I had an injury, so I was just sitting up in the booth and helping out, clearing black flags, stuff like that. And Tom was saying, well, they can only go this many laps unless somebody figures out a way. And we get to about halfway point. John Wall's still on the track, has not pitted yet. And I hear Tom go, oh, he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I figured out a way.
John Wall was able to make it to the halfway point, which meant he knew he could go the rest of the distance. Pace car makes that trip down pit road.
Who,
Tom
me?
could, yeah, you.
Hey, real quick, I noticed that Josh too came in topped off there with 1 to go, so he's already trying to think outside the box when it comes to the pit strategy for this race.
It doesn't pay anything to lead.
He got loose. He's spinning. Oh, Spring's got him.
Yeah.
Oh no. You can hear the Tom Goodman's up there in the front. He just pulled up. And you can hear him. As soon as the caution came out, he was right off the gas, right into the clutch, just coasting it.
He's hitting the corner here, and he just got loose all by himself.
Yeah, I still had my camera on him after he left pit road and saw that he looked like he got into the corner and just got loose. And when he started going up the track. Spring got him, so that's 2 for Spring there. He's not had any luck tonight.
Now the penalties over here, if you cause the accident, isn't it? You have to go down the second time by. I don't know if it's just a drive-through, right? And then you get you get kind of be at the back of the pack, and that's how you are able to serve your penalty.
Correct. Yeah, you'll have to do a drive-through. Just show up at the tail end of the longest line there, which 12-car field. Everybody's on the lead lap. He'll just have to start the tail at the restart. With that spin, of course, with his tires, he did top off. He's still not out of it. He can definitely kind of baby this car the rest of the run, and hopefully didn't have too much damage and still contend.
Once again, all the cars that are, I see, which one am I missing here? So, nope, they all came down pit road. I believe all of the drivers that are in the championship, let's see, I don't know if Tom Goodman did or not. I think he might have stayed out. He did. He stayed out, and he's still the leader. There again, there's no points for leading. There's, the only guys that are worried about, the points are the guys that are outside the top 4. And that's just if, you want to say, well, I didn't win the championship, I didn't finish in the top 4, but I did get 5th.
Yeah, unfortunately for Robert Spring, that thing's wrecked. And looks like they had to call it a day. Engine failure due to piston. Yeah. And that is it for Robert.
That'll probably move him down in the points a little bit. Well, there again, that's no real big concern. He'll be back next year. I'm pretty sure he'll be in the late model series, trying that out. I'm hoping to make a few of those races. I liked racing the late models with these guys when we did them a few years back.
It's been a while. Like, according to that document we were handed, it's been about 3 or 4 years since you guys have run a late model series in the middle of like a spring-summer kind of thing.
Yeah, they did the way they used to do things. They had 3 different series that would run. So I remember back in the day when we did it, it was the late model series, a Cup series, and an IndyCar series, and they all ran together. So the first week maybe it would be Cup, second week it would be the late model, third week would be the IndyCar, then the next week you come back around, it'd be Cup, and it was kind of you still had the same championships that run, but they would change it to a different one. Then they switched that over to where they started doing the format that they have now, where it's just one Cup, one Aero 88, just trucks.
IndyCar is cool. SMO was running an IndyCar series on
Thursday night,
and I was like, "Oh, cool! I gotta run it. I should get in there. I love that open wheel stuff. It'd be kind of neat to, just to race something different."
And you know who was running?
And then they did it on Thursdays. I'm busy. We're busy at Rolling Thunder on Thursdays too, the Talladega Challenge broadcast. It's like, darn it.
Do you know whose baby that was?
That was my baby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm
now,
a big fan
if you
of
want to
that.
complain to somebody about running it on Thursday nights, there's your guy.
Oh, yeah. You need to change your entire league so I can run in that.
There we go. Yeah, Thursday nights, they're usually in the later part of the summertime. I think we're getting ready to go green, but yeah, I kind of try to throw together a series to run.
Yeah, that's cool. The IndyCar. Were you using like the 12s, the 2012 one, or because there's a
Newest
F1
one,
mod
John?
too, right?
Correct. Yeah, we used the 12. It was a lot of fun doing that, and I had never run the Indy cars before. And actually, it's funny, Rod. I got schooled most of the weeks. I think I pulled out like one win, but I was getting passed left and right just because I wasn't doing the shifting sequences correctly. You know how you gotta.
Yep.
6 speeds, yeah.
It was a lot of fun though.
Were you
Jordan wasn't
rocking
second.
ovals, or were you doing some street courses?
For that series, we just did ovals. We just did a lot of the ovals from the early to mid 2000s from the IndyCar series.
Currently, right now, Tom Goodman, your leader out there, the one of the guys out there that is contending for the championship. Second is Dan Rubino in the on the order, but third is Viper. He is one of the guys going for the championship. Fourth is Richard Knappick, and I think that's Rich Finkel behind him. And let's see. Josh 2 must be on pit road.
So we got Josh 2 on pit road. I did talk to him briefly under caution, and he said he had 2 red front tires, so he had to pit shortly after taking the green. So hopefully he can baby these tires and kind of, baby it and get back out there and blend in. Maybe catch a caution here soon.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Cool little rule. You can't get tires under yellow, so he's gonna have to bite the bullet and do it under green flag conditions.
He did say that he thinks the car is fine as far as damage is concerned. So hopefully he'll catch a break and at least still have a shot at it later on.
You can get a caution here relatively soon. It'll pay a lot more big dividends to him, because then he'd be the lucky dog. He can go around, come back to the back of the field. He's on fresher tires, nobody else is. That can be a big advantage, and that's just a strategy. You try to play those strategies out like that. Doesn't always work.
It's like going to Vegas, gambling, always rolling the dice.
Yep. Like we always say, one good strategy can be ruined by one caution. So
I saw too on the, I think, John, you can answer this one. The stadium trucks, you run that mod as well.
We have, yes. A couple years ago, I believe we did, yeah.
What was that in? What format? Not in NR 2003, was it?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Really? Did not know they had a mod like that.
Yep. There's an Australian supercar mod in here too.
I've tried that. That's hard.
Right-hand drive. I can't figure it out.
Drive part isn't what gets me. Those things haul ass. I'm telling you what, they move.
It's, you name it, there's probably a mod in here.
I remember you saying something about go-karts, so I want to find that one.
Mystical made it. Armory Digital. Yep, just go to Armory Digital.
I don't know what we're gonna do this time around for Thursday night series for us. I've been throwing around the idea, and a couple guys maybe getting the dirt series again. Run those dirt cars. Everybody seems to like those.
Yep. The hard part about that is do you make a setup that's fast or that hangs it out a little bit in it, which you can still make one that's fast if it hangs it out, but you know what I mean, kind of getting it so that it drives kind of more like a dirt car would.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, fixed is a good way to do that, right? You can control like those things, just make them super loose and tons of fun.
Lap 25, Tom Goodman. I see he's ready to come to pit road.
Beat me to it, John. You're taking my job away now.
My bad.
No. You're doing great.
This is an audition because we're gonna need you. I'm gonna need you on Saturday. If you want to sit in the booth, we'll use you on Saturday. What am I doing Saturday? I can't remember now. It would be
ASR's second season.
Yeah, ASR race number 1.
Other than interviews from race finishes, this is actually my first, hang out in the booth for a little while type thing.
Hey, if you're not busy on Saturday night, Blaine will take you in there. You can learn the ropes over at ASR.
Yeah, Rod can't make it. He's got dinner plans.
I can get with you. I'll get with you during the week, a little Friday or so.
Awesome.
That way, I don't know if I'll make it home in time, but either way,
But then that's the thing. You got a 3-man booth if you can make it. But if not, then we're guaranteed to have 2. Because doing it by yourself, I can't do it by myself. Seth Cole can. I mean, I've done it by myself, but the commentary is complete garbage.
It's so weird to do this, John. And like I've had times with Blaine when we're in here doing it, we just kind of play off each other. I probably talk more than he does, but then all of a sudden Blaine's like, "Oh, crap the dog," or can you just take care of it for a minute? And then you kind of sit there and you go,
It is weird, yeah.
It is very weird trying to do it all by yourself.
Well, one thing I've already noticed, it's easy to get sidetracked. We're talking about different stories, and then I'm like, oh, wait, this guy's pitting. I guess we should probably say something about
that's my job. That's my job. Keep Blaine, focused on the race.
This league is a weird one because it's so consistent. These guys go out, they run their laps, there's usually no big catastrophes or any kind of crazy stuff going on. So it's just, really good racing. So then we'll get off on a tangent and start talking about, stadium truck mods and stuff like that. So
Dan Rubino coming off of turn 2 there. I think his tires are worn out. He just kind of bounced it off the fence, and he said, I've had enough. So he's on his way down pit road, probably 4 tires, fill anything up with fuel, and see if he can get back out there. I can keep a track of Josh, too. Must be Tom Goodman, after his pit. Them two are I'm still a lap down now. They do 2 lap lucky dogs here, don't they, John? Precaution if it happens.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to understand, this is an easier one for me to do because I know everybody real well here. I've raced with you guys real well here. We get over to on Tuesday night at Maverick. There's so many different people, so many different names, and some of them are, a little different to speak. And this, then we go to Saturday with ASR, Sunday, Monday with Open Speedway, the Maverick. You come in and you go, okay, yep, this is, what are the rules?
Yeah, they all start blended together.
That's for sure. Man, we got a pretty good battle up front there between Musa and Viper and Napix there. They just exchanged the lead on that last lap. Finkel's not too far behind, so you can throw a blanket over the top 4 right now.
Yeah, and these guys are all going to have to figure out when they want to pit too, right? So
I don't know. Did Musa pit on that last yellow, or did he stay out with Tom? I know
everybody has pit
tires
twice except for Jordan. Dick Jordan has only pit 1 time.
They got to be pretty much, well, of course, we had a few cautions there, so they've got to be pretty close to the edge of the end of their tires.
So the 61 has only gone in 1 time. He's currently running 5th on the lead lap still.
Nice.
Everybody else has at least 2 pits. 2's been in there 4 times.
Kind of keeping an eye on that backstretch still. Nobody's coming down pit road, so. Jamie Tedder here tonight, so nobody's, super saving on tires like that Team Jamie Tedder guy and that John Wall guy.
I think Musa actually might have fell out earlier, so his tires might be a little bit different sequence than everybody else as well.
Still holding them off pretty good.
Oh, yeah. RC Dick Jordan, he's on pit road as well now.
Here comes Viper, down pit road. His name is Chris, right?
I'm sorry, which one?
Viper?
Tom.
Oh, his name is Tom. Okay, I don't know why I thought his name was Chris. I know you got Chris Aiken over at SMO, but there's enough Toms over here, so that's why it's easier to call him Viper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's weird seeing his name on the door. I'm like, I should just say Viper.
All right, here comes Tom Musa down on pit road. It's followed by Rich Napik. Rich Finkel. Rich Napik is staying out.
Many years that I've known Viper, I've just always known him as, Viper.
Yeah. Me, as much as I race with you, I've never really known him other than I thought his name was Chris too, and that's why he went by Viper, because you guys have got Chris Aiken over there, but I never knew his really first name.
I got other choice words for Chris Aiken now. He's a great friend of mine. So. You
guys have had some wicked races, and sometimes they don't end as well. You guys race hard, fight hard. You know what I mean? And it's awesome to watch you guys race, but every once in a while, you guys will just be so intense into it, and one of you guys kind of steps over the boundaries just a little bit. Somehow, I've seen you guys do that, both spin and still 1 and 2 in the race, so that's pretty good.
Oh, he's a great friend of mine. He got me into the whole racing online years and years ago. So we go back probably over 10 years, 15 years, even close to that maybe. And we've had some great battles and a lot of trust. So I give him a hard time. He gives me a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
But we are great friends. In fact, this time last year, Josh 2, myself and Chris Aiken, we went to the petty shops up there in Randleman. So we all met up there, had dinner at a little pizza joint. Great pizza guy.
Richard Napick is on his way down pit road now.
So I was going to ask if you guys know each other outside of the sim, so the answer is yes.
Yes, I was going to say that. I was going to ask the same thing, and then he brought it up.
Correct.
What was the pizza joint? Were they any good?
It was actually pretty lousy, to be honest with you.
That's too bad. Bad pizza is horrible.
Yeah.
After all of that, Tom Goodman will come out as the leader again once they get the pit stops all squared away. He had just gone down the front stretch while Napick was pulling into his pit stop. So
he's right behind Dick Jordan.
There's about a 10-second gap between. I've been watching Tom and Josh's distance, and it's about 10 seconds or so.
And Tom Goodman's following RC there and kind of just following in his tracks. I think he's just. I don't think he's pushing 100%. I think he's just kind of cruising around, following RC, getting a little better fuel mileage, and a little bit of a tow. So it helps him out. Maybe, well, no, it depends on what his strategy is, but he might be a big advantage by just doing what he's doing.
It looks like Josh is coming back into the pits. Remember, he's off sequence compared to everybody else.
And he was worked his way up to the third spot, about third. Ooh! Goodman just hit the fence. Oh, he's got a flat tire.
He's got flat, yeah.
Look like he's got a flat tire. He missed the pit road there. Was trying to get down it. One thing they do here, it doesn't even matter what track it is. They have their entrance to the pit road on turn 3. Obviously, this track already has that set up like that, but no matter what, they try to do that. That's going to hand the lead over to Tom Musa. Your lead car that is in the championship is going to be Viper.
What's that saying? This changes everything.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if we didn't see if he did or not, but, quite possible that Tom Goodman only took right side tires that last time, and that may be why the left side tire blew out.
Yeah, it's weird to see the left go off like that.
Yeah, well, unless he tried, because remember, they only got 18 tires. So I've seen, what was it, last week, a lot of the guys did that. They would only take, right sides about midway. They didn't try to go like the complete full distance they could go, but they just put 2 on, ran for, where they felt that they went long enough so that they could make the end of the race and finish the race on just putting on 4. Some people did, not everybody.
Like to have an emergency stack there too, right? Just in case.
Yep.
There's a shot of Napick in 4th. 3rd place of Finkel. Viper in 2nd, right behind Musa in 1st.
The possible saving grace there for Tom Goodman is where he had that problem. Looked like it was right off of 2 going down the back straight. So he was, although he kind of missed that pit entry and had to lock it up, it really was kind of minimal as far as time lost where what could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, like if that would have happened in like turn 1, you got to limp that thing all the way around.
It's lucky too, though. This version of it, I think the PWF version, if you were to drop your wheel off into the grass, you can incur a black flag.
Yep, that's correct.
So this version here doesn't have that, although he is clutching.
He's definitely still in it. I mean, I wouldn't count any of the 4 guys out yet. But,
too early to say. Way too early to say. I mean, anything can happen.
This is your race leader, Tom Musa. In the Fuchsia 4 car. Not purple. Viper's in the purple one. Is that fuchsia? I don't even know. Mauve. Ooh. I think it's mauve. Maybe it's mauve. I don't know. I gotta learn my pastels.
We need the gold 0 out there. That's what it is.
That's the problem. Yeah, and there's no gold out here tonight.
Yours is what, yellow, John? And
well, I requested gold, so I'm pretty sure they gave me gold. I think
It is actually, 'cause
Jamie's is like a yellowish gold
Okay.
color too.
yeah, because yours, I remember zooming in on it. It's actually got like the gold fleck in it. So whoever painted it actually did that extra layer to make it look like it sparkles. I'm pretty sure it was 0.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely lifting off in the middle of the corners there. Kind of interesting how they come off of turn 2. I've never really noticed that. There's a bit of a bump there. Come off turn 2, the car, if you can see the front of the car kind of lift up and a little bit off the bump.
We just saw Viper overtake for the lead.
I was looking at lap times, and currently Tom Musa in the 4 has the fastest lap of the race at a 29.585, but Viper right just in front of him, not too far off. He's got looks like a 29.594, so they're right together on lap time.
And we're creeping up onto the halfway point. We're about 3 to 4 laps away from that. Everybody's kind of settled in now. Cautions are out of the way.
You know, once these things get warmed up, you know, we tend to see spin outs and stuff a little bit more on fresh sets of tires, on restarts and stuff. But once they get warmed up, so much easier to control.
Dan Rubino looks like he's headed to pit road.
He was struggling a little bit off of 2 a few laps back, and you did the same thing that we saw Tom Goodman do. It bounced off the wall, so I imagine that his tires were getting pretty bad.
Yeah, he was the one caught up in that first incident there early on too, I believe.
I'm trying to remember, out of those guys, it was Napick was the last one to go. I think Viper out of the top 3, other than Goodman. Goodman's on a little bit of different strategy as well. Josh, too, we obviously know he's on a big different strategy because of the episode that happened early in the race. So we know Viper usually heads in before Rich Napick does, so I'm just kind of wondering how much further can they go before we see Viper on pit road.
Yeah, I was just tuning in there to Napick. You know, he's slow and steady, kind of like he's just running his race, letting all the chips fall where they fall, and hopefully he'll be there at the end. But he's right there and currently in 4th.
If he can go keep doing like he's doing, we've seen Jamie Tedder, we've seen you do it, where you guys will go just a little bit further. Maybe he can go far enough to, you know, eliminate one pit stop, and if you can do that, that is a big advantage.
Absolutely.
Not easy to do that, though. That's a feat.
Had to wet my whistle. Getting dry again.
Currently focused on Viper, the 24. That is your race leader.
He should be due for a pit stop here, I'd say, in the next 3 or 4 laps anyway. Musa has stayed right on him and closed the gap a little bit as well, so he's put a little pressure on him.
Yeah, but if you're Viper, you're out front, you're leading, you know what I mean? You don't have to kill the tires, just you're out front. There's nowhere, you know, nobody in front of you to try to pass. Just settle in. If you can, you know, keep the run. He's up the track quite a bit though, but there is that the track does run. You can run up there. It's a pretty good track. I've often found a little better tire wear up there, but it's not as fast.
Now I wonder if this track version, I haven't personally run it. I wonder if later in the runs like this, running the high line, if it helps out with that tire wear.
I think it helps out a lot right from the get-go, but it's not the fastest way around the track. You lose a little bit of time. As you can see, Musa He's about probably a car length and a half higher up in the corner, and he's lost a little bit of time there. But it is definitely, it is one of those, here comes Viper on pit road.
Finkel's joining him on pit road. Finkel's around. Oh, he gets a little sideways.
Yeah. Just saw that. We're looking at the back of Viper. Finkel got into the grass.
I figured he would. Tom Musa, he's on his way down on pit road now.
You know, sometimes the game will trigger a caution if somebody's close by. It looks like everything's clean and green still.
That's one thing about here. They do have control of the cautions. They used to do it where they would pull the cautions out if it was more than, one driver or whatever. But, you always have the tough time with that. So the way they set it up is if the game pulls the caution, it's a caution. But they do control them, so there's only going to be 2 laps under the caution and they go back green. That's admin controlled. Do some math here in my head because I'm trying to see whether or not we know we can't do it on fuel, maybe. But can Napic? I don't know if Napic can do it on one more stop or not.
That's what's so awesome about
He's
this too,
on
because
pit
you
road
get these
now.
guys doing the mathematics on like that gas mileage. Bringing it right down to that last lap.
To your cars.
And it looks like Napic's coming to pit road, so it looked like about 2 or 3 laps after Viper came in, so he's got that going.
Because everybody should be able to do it. No, they can't do it on tires. He'd have to save some fuel because the way that Tom Musa said to me, it was about 21 to 22 laps on fuel. So that he might be trying that fuel mileage game if it goes green flag the rest of the way. But like you were talking about, Josh too. He's had that one bite him, because he ran out of gas on the last lap.
Right, Napic just left pit road along with Josh too. Both of them took 4 tires and fuel. Josh is still a lap down, currently in the 8th position.
It's either to be in the 2 lucky dog positions where he is right now currently, or ahead of them guys and have a caution come out that would put him back up there because currently he showed 2 laps down.
Yep, it looks like it just updated there. Yep.
He's just got to hope for a caution to fall at the right moment that he can get at least one of those laps back. It's hard for him to make that much of a distance up. I mean, he had no choice. He had to pit, had to get tires, or definitely would have caused the caution, but it still wouldn't have been able to take tires. So he definitely needs a caution to be able to get out there and win this championship.
Well, after that cycle, Tom Goodman has worked his way back up front, even after the incident. But as soon as I say that, now he's on the pit road.
Yep.
I was just going to say.
He's got all tires.
That's going to be put Viper right back out in the front. I forgot to put GNL TV up for tonight, so I'm so used to not having it. Now I got it. Look, caution flag is out.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and Tom Goodman was on pit road when they closed it, so...
He will be able to take the 4 tires.
Yep. I mean, like you say, they're not allowed to do under caution, not allowed to take tires. He's driving straight through. He drove straight through the pits. That's interesting because he was on pit road when they closed the pits. You can see the...
I believe their rule, if I'm not mistaken, is your pit stop has to be active.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to be like in the stall.
Correct.
Right, because you can see there the yellow comes on after he crosses a commitment line and they shut the pits down. But He did not stop. Oh, okay, see, I thought you had... Oh. What was that Tom was doing? Great big burnout there right before... Did he get another flat, maybe?
He was close. That was very close.
It looks like it was the 61 of RC Jordan getting loose in the middle of 3 and 4 behind Rubino.
Yeah, he doesn't have a flat. I thought maybe he had a flat. I think he's at a gas. Yeah.
Oh, good news.
Tom's at a gas. He just got a tow.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's heartbreaking for him.
It would almost been worth taking the penalty. Pitting in the closed pit,
sure.
you know.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, Napa got
Well,
turned around.
the thing of it is, I think the smart thing to have done there would have been to shut off your tires, take fuel.
Right.
Just get a splash of fuel and
Get
go
the
out.
splash.
And you would have, you wouldn't have lost anything. You would have been able to come in and put fuel back in it. You would probably had to come back around and get tires, but the good news is this caution. Unfortunate, he's 2 laps down, but that'll get 1 lap back for Josh too.
Yeah, so
and he's a little bit different strategy. I think he's probably on older tires now.
Yeah, just by only a few laps though. So if he gets that another caution, again, he's right back in it. That was a very interesting pit road.
Yeah. Bumping and banging.
I don't know what was going on there. It was the slow motion just anomaly. It was strange to watch. I don't know what was going on,
but yeah, the reason for the caution was RC looked like he got loose middle of 3 and 4 and kind of finally did the spin all the way down the front straightaway.
There goes Josh too to get one of his laps back. Now Musa was able to beat Viper out of the pits because Viper was ahead of them before they went in. So Musa come out with the lead. Viper don't have to win. Obviously, he wants to win, but he doesn't have to win the championship. He's just got to finish ahead of the other drivers, which would be Tom Goodman, Rich Napick, and Josh too. So, unfortunately for Josh too and Tom Goodman, they're 1 lap down. Another caution would put them back in there, but we have seen a little bit of different tire strategies. Goodman's probably going to have to go down and get tires, I would imagine.
I believe Goodman just went down that 2nd lap.
Yep, you are correct.
My, how things have turned.
Yeah, bad timing on a few things. He had 17 laps led. Viper's got 18 laps led. Musa's got 15 laps led. Finkel has 9. Napick has 7. It would have been just easier to say, hey, Jordan, Rubino, and 2 haven't led a lap yet. Everybody else has at least 1. And
had that caution come out like 5 seconds later, 5 or 8 seconds later, Tom Goodman would have been in the prime spot,
Mm-hmm.
Back green.
Oh, what happened
Musa
there?
did not get a very good start.
I heard the engine pop, but he missed a shift, I think.
Ow. Whoa!
Oh, hold on.
Come on, Finkel, hold on. Look out! Oh, right in front of Musa and I think Tom Goodman.
Yeah, Goodman caught a piece of that one.
Just kind of, I was on Viper's car when it happened, and
and I did just hear a report that Tom Musa did lose 3rd gear. That you did hear that pop.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, because we're in the car now watching. So there's the shift. Yeah, he had to find his way out of that gear pretty quick. So he's 1-2-4. Gotta skip
Not
third.
impossible.
No.
I don't know. I know he runs. I think he's on a Fanatec. I don't know if he's got. I don't know if he's got a sequential or whether it's got the H pattern.
I love that guys have a Fanatec controller and they're racing NASCAR 2003.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Hey, don't look now, but guess who's back on the lead lap?
Yeah.
85, Josh 2 with his Josh's Eggs car. He's, like I said earlier, don't count him out just yet.
Really can't count any of them out too much. I mean, Tom Goodman, got into that one pretty good. The car doesn't look bad. So, he was a latecomer to it. He slowed down quite a bit. So.
Well, and he'll be lucky dog again.
Yeah.
So he'll be back on the lead lap also, and he was just down 2 laps.
It'll be a shootout to the end.
Join us tomorrow at Talladega Challenge at RTG. Friday, the playoffs start in the Truck Series over at Prime Time recently, the Friday Night Super Speedway Truck Series. And then ASR resumes on their premier Talladega Super Speedway Series on Saturday, race number 1. And then Maverick on Tuesday from, not Bristol, Kansas. I forgot to change the name of that track. We just did Bristol. It's Kansas on Tuesday.
Hey, you got to go down and look at that because that schedule got changed on you a little bit.
Yeah, I redid this schedule on the screen that you're looking at now. I just forgot to change the track. The Maverick's the only one that I actually put the track on because everybody else runs Talladega.
You got to remember when you switch from one track to one computer to the other, you got to change that stuff too, right?
Yeah, the Maverick broadcast happens on the new computer. It's the only one so far that I'm doing from the new one, but that's the thing. That file for that image, because that whole thing is one picture, is not shared between the two computers.
So interesting now that Josh 2 has got himself back on the lead lap, whether or not he's going to have tires enough. We know he did pit a little bit earlier than everybody else, so that's going to hurt a little bit. John, you'd know better. Of course, you're not out here today, so really get that. But a couple laps down on these tires, it could be a little more detrimental to him. But all he's got to do is keep it going straight, and probably just get his strategy down and go in there and get some tires and win this thing.
Yeah, as far as I know, he's got 4 tires left. I guess without talking to him, my guess would be I'd try to maybe baby this run as best I can, get as many laps out of it, and go for broke on that last run with those 4 tires.
So Viper's in first. Goodman is 1 lap down in front of Viper right there. Is that not a wave around position? How come he hasn't gone around yet?
Yeah. Which one?
Goodman.
No, Josh 2 did.
I'm just wondering why Goodman is a lap down in front of Viper. Right? Like he was between the pace car there. He's a lap down still. He'd be 2 otherwise. Either way, green again on lap 74. Viper is your leader. Followed by Rich Knappick. RC, Richard Finkel, Tom Musa. Josh 2, and Dan Rubino.
All right. Goodman's coming down pit road. Josh 2 had some internet issues there on the back stretches. He was all over the place.
Yeah, I did see on that restart they were kind of scrambling around Musa, who was again down that gear on the restart.
He needs a bump draft when he's about to shift from second to 4th.
Right.
Somebody needs to get in there and push him.
The 61 just bounced off the wall there on the back straightaway. Now they're getting ready to go 3 wide. Josh thinks better of it.
You run second gear higher RPM than you normally would, and then slam it right into fourth and go.
If you had
Sequential,
a-
it's bang bang.
Yeah, and a H would be even better because you could
Yep.
just skip it completely.
The only time I see an H pattern doesn't work out well, and we've seen that happen before, is when somebody goes from the third gear to second gear. It never ends well.
Nope, that makes a sound.
Yeah, it does. It's go boom. You're
Yep.
done.
And your race is over. We can't fix that engine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aside from Goodman being multiple laps down now, the other three guys contending for the championship are 1, 2, 3.
Napic's all over Viper there.
Oh yeah, really.
Now it's a strategy. We know they have to do one more pit stop. They should all have a set of tires, and when do you pit? You got to figure out. Do you split it in half? Do you pit maybe a lap or two early to get out there on the fresher tires? We've seen Tom Musa was, or Tom Goodman earlier was earlier down pit road. We know that Viper's been there earlier than Richard Napic. So which one of the ones going to, kind of do that and see if they can get ahead? Be interesting to find out which way they go. Or if you Napic, do you switch your strategy around? You go earlier this time to try to get out there.
And then it's pretty cool, like what John just said too. Our final four drivers, the 6, the 24, the 33, and the 85. The top three is the 24, the 6, and the 85. So right now, this is going to be some kind of race. Because you got to win. You got to be in front of, your competition, especially when all of them are right up front. It's not going to be a stroll to the finish.
Napic is really trying to get underneath the
Yeah.
Viper there. You get a better run on that high side coming off the corner going in. It's kind of like at Talladega. You can get in the bottom there and you do pretty good. You got to really, really, really clear the guy and kind of do a slide job on him. Not, you think Viper comes off that corner and he's just that little extra momentum down the straightaway.
They're doing a great job keeping it clean, keeping it close though.
Next thing is how hard are they running on these tires? Considering Josh 2's right behind him. He's they're gaining and pulling away from him a little bit. Are they running too hard? Josh 2 back there just saying, "Go ahead, guys, burn them up. I'll be up there to see you soon."
Yep.
Then there's that moment of silence. I was taking a drink. So.
I'm curious if Josh's tires are on the same kind of sequence as Viper and Napic.
Thought he pitted a little earlier than they did because of that. This scenario that he was in. May not have. Ooh, contact.
Smack indoors. I want to think
I said they were pretty clean.
they're probably doing it on purpose too.
You think they're looking at the other monitor over there going, "Hey, we're on TV.
Maybe,
Let's give them something to watch."
No,
I tried to do that to Josh last week, and we saw what happened to me.
Yeah.
looks like Napic made it stick. Took advantage of Viper tagging that wall back there and took the lead away.
I would think that two's on either in a different strategy, like you said. The tires are a little bit more worn because they are, hard racing up here side by side, but yet they're pulling away slowly but surely.
And the gap from 2 to the front was 4.3. Now it's a 4.8 at the line, so losing a little bit, but not a whole lot. Like you said, the money stopped coming up. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to take 2 tires. They can take 4. There's all kinds of options. And don't spin out. Don't speed. Don't get on that access road and hit the grass. So many things going to happen.
The other thing too is this next lap by they come around, they're going to be 20 laps to go, or close to 21 laps to go. We know they can make it about that distance on fuel. Is somebody like Josh 2 decide now's the time to go go down pit road when you get to the point where I know I can make it on fuel. I'm sure he's not going to do it too early due to the fact that he's had that happen before. What caution flag is out, you have a car around on the front stretch. See who it was, but Musa was on his way down pit road, I think.
Yes, he was. It looks like he was on his way down pit road, and then he changed his mind because the yellow comes out. You can see there the pits are closed, so he just stays out. The reason for it, I cannot tell you.
Was a car down? I saw a car down in the grass. I'm not sure who it was, though. Trying to get back to that.
Yeah, I gotta get the lights in view here, and then I can see where the lights come on. I'll be able to find it. Oh, yeah, it's Jordan. The 61 on the front straight. Sorry, yeah, front straight. Just got loose.
Oh, yeah, loose on that corner exit again there.
Yeah.
This will change the strategy up a little bit. Napic and Viper are headed down pit road. Obviously, it's just going to be a fuel stop. Maybe, I don't believe they have any damage. But that'll change up the strategy a little bit. Now, you might see them go and then only take 2 tires. If they can go 20 laps, or they could probably make it from here. I just don't know how well their tires will hold up.
This is going to be good.
Now it's a situation where you might not want to go as hard to save the tires to be able to go the distance.
Oh, Viper's going to get out in front of them.
Probably a scenario Viper probably figured that I can make it. I only need this much fuel. So he probably did not take a full tank of fuel or fill it to the top. He probably filled it up to where he needed it to be so he could get out front.
And it is getting darker. That's neat how they figured out how to do that. Nobody else coming down the pits, eh? Interesting. Do you think they'll save it for the lights will remain on one more lap, I'm thinking, right?
If you still have to go, you still have to do one more for fuel.
Oh, they're off.
Sorry, for tires. You have to. If you're Josh too, now you're out front. Maybe you can, run a little while. These guys didn't get tires. They just got fuel. So maybe he's thinking he can run out there, get to the point where his strategy says, all right, now it's time to pit. Come in, take 4 tires, get your fuel, then come out, run, faster laps with 4 fresh tires, and then them guys come in a little later. Maybe they only take 2. That could be a pretty big advantage.
Tom Goodman is that lucky dog, so he gets one of his 3 laps back.
Needs
Black
2 more
flag
cautions
being shown to Musa.
He was dropping debris. It looked like he had a tire down. I saw as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got a black under yellow. That'll just be under the longest line, I'm assuming. That looks like where he's going now.
Back under green.
Oh!
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh, I don't know if Goodman was just trying to give him a little assistance or what was going on there.
He might not have known that he was down that gear, and he came up to the tail end real quick.
To Josh 2, Rich Finkel, and Dan Rubino on pit road.
Right. Part of the rules is taking service under green flag conditions.
This might be Josh 2's Hail Mary throw, pit early, or compared to the other 2 guys.
I would just make sure that you fill it up. That would be the big thing.
Right.
Very curious to see what he takes for tires, though. He's taking rights. Dan Rubino kind of pitted a little bit to the...
Full service.
Taking left as well. taking full service, but Dan Rubino pitted. The way he pitted, it's going to make it harder for Josh to get out, but he was able to do it. Next question, is this the winning move or not? Viper must have hit it down. He's on pit road as well.
Viper's in the middle of his stop right now, yeah.
He's taking full service as well.
Yep.
So Rich Napix, I don't know. I don't know if this is a smart play. With this strategy, the way you have to take tires under a green flag condition, you almost kind of want to race every race like a road course. You pit early enough so should the caution come out, you've got fresh tires and you kind of move to the front of the field. That's kind of the strategy you'd have to use over here, wouldn't you say, John?
Yeah. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. His strategy now at this point might be, get as much fuel as he needs just to complete the race, and maybe 2 tires, and bridge that gap a little bit. But yeah, you'd almost have to try to run this race backwards with your tires and fuel.
But because the thing of it is, why I say that is because you can't take tires under a yellow flag condition. He's currently got everybody at least 1 lap down. Well, when he pits, that's going to change. If we don't think he can make the distance, I mean, if he could make all the way on a fuel, that's fine. It's great, but I don't think he can. A yellow flag condition comes out. Does that work? You can't take tires. So can he go the rest of the distance just on the fuel he's got? Has everybody come down, take fuel? That's kind of questionable whether this strategy will work or not.
Yeah, it's going to be. It'll be interesting.
Would be very interesting if somehow he's going to be able to pull it off. Got the entire field 1 lap down.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it right now, the number 6, Rich Napik, in first. Everybody else 1 lap down. And we've got, 10 laps to go, yeah. 97 of 107.
Can he go these last 10 laps? I mean,
I don't know. We're gonna watch. I'm not changing this camera angle.
I mean, even if they catch him and run him down and pass him, there's no way they can. If he's got the fuel to go the distance,
right?
They can't come around the track and catch him in this short of time. So
even if they catch him now, they still got to go all the way around to get him.
Yeah.
To get the position.
Josh was able to make his way around Viper after that sequence of stops there.
Could pay dividends. Should Napik have to pit, that could be real big for him. One thing he must be confident that he can make it. I do not hear him clutching.
No.
Or either that, he's just got to, I'm not sure. Really don't know. I would think if the caution comes out, it puts him in a worse scenario. Yes, it lets him get fuel. Yes, everybody has to be behind him. But if the caution comes out, he's on older tires. So, that's a 6 1/2 dozen another.
And you factor in the lucky dogs and whatnot.
There's the battle for second. Viper in the 24, Josh 2 in the 85.
We don't know how many seconds behind him they are.
No, because it's 1 entire lap plus, you're right? So it's...
Napik's hitting the start-finish line now. They're hitting it, so they're not that far behind him. About a quarter of a track.
I have a feeling he would have gone by now. If he needed to go, he would have gone by now.
I would think so. He might be able to make it.
It's funny, like, there's still lots of time. This is lap number 102 of 107 now. But why would you run and then come in on lap 106? I mean, if he has to, he's going to have to.
Right.
And then who
Would
knows
like to
what
see
happens.
his telemetry, because I think you can see him. He's lifting a lot more. Obviously, tires are worn out a little bit. He's not charging the corner, I guess, like he should, or he has to. But he's not coasting, so he's not. He's really not trying to save too much.
Yeah, at this point in the race, you're going for broke. It's either going to run out or he's going to hopefully bring it to victory lane.
The heartbreak would be if, last lap does what Josh 2 did last year and just runs out of gas.
So. If he does run out of gas, the 24 has gotten around the 85. There is a little bit of a distance now between the two.
This is getting interesting.
I'm wondering, listening to the RPM of the engine, is he running full throttle?
Well, that's what I said. I wish we could see the telemetry on it.
It doesn't sound like it.
But it doesn't sound like he's running.
It doesn't sound like he's running full throttle, but it also doesn't sound like he's rolling it out too much either. Like he might just be running 90%. So he's still able to keep the distance. But he's not like he's not in like an emergency situation either, because he's not lifting like 50%. If he's lifting at all, it's not very much.
He's got to be lifting some, because I see the 24 and the 85. They've closed the gap on them.
Okay.
On him.
Oh, there he goes. He's clutching now. Oh, he's got to do that. All right, two to go. Next time, guys, going to be the white flag. He's getting anywhere near close. He's got to start clutching, start saving.
This is something else, I'll tell you what.
It's almost too late to clutch, though. I mean, what are you going to save in like 2 laps?
I know.
He should have been doing it the last 30 laps.
It's getting intense. White flag is out.
One more.
Almost coast from here, though. He's got everybody a lap down. And if he doesn't, if he runs out of gas, you throw the thing in neutral.
Just roll it. So one thing about the onboard cameras is we can only see the tack. The other needles are just not real time.
He can make it from here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it.
Nice job.
Viper gets his lap back, so everybody except one car was a lap down. Awesome.
What a finish.
The number 6 takes the championship.
I cannot wait to find out how much fuel he had left.
Who saw that coming? That's awesome.
Wow.
I didn't, for sure. Thought for sure he'd have to pit one more time.
I love a good fuel game. That's cool, man.
Now the question, does he have enough for a burnout or not?
That's the thing, yeah. It's always fun when it runs out on the burnout. Congratulations to Rich Knappick in the 6th for taking the championship here at TMP Racing. There's Josh 3. Josh 2.
Josh 2, yeah.
Sure he's never heard that before.
Josh 3, yeah.
Yeah, he's in 3rd, right? You gotta call him Josh 3.
The championship obviously goes to Rich Knappick. 2nd for the championship will be Viper. 3rd for the championship will be Josh 2. 4th will be the 33 of Tom Goodman, who did not have the greatest of nights.
Oh, do we have like is there a victory lane here? Is that where he's going?
I think he's trying to find it. And Josh 2, I think, is trying to show him how to get there.
I know I couldn't find it on that first week of the championship series.
Is there one? I guess there is somewhere. I don't see it. It's probably in the middle.
First time up in the booth there, John Wall. You ready to ask all the questions tonight?
I work the radio at work all the time, so I have to answer some really random and stupid questions sometimes. I could probably do it.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can find Josh, too. We'll get him up here. All right, Josh, 2, you got Rod, Blaine, and John Wall in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, we got a new questionnaire guy tonight. John Wall is going to be asking you the questions.
All right.
Oh, Lord, here we go. Josh, I was watching that whole race, and I guess it's that rookie broadcaster's jinx, because as soon as I saw you go in to top off that pit stop and then see you spin out, I said, I think I just jinxed him. But how did that basically change your race as far as strategy and try to get back up to the front and try to contend for the championship?
Well, what's crazy is when I topped off, it was one of those things where I felt like I would have control of what I did next because I would have more fuel than everyone else. But then that's the first time I had spun. I practiced forever and never spun except that one time. And as soon as I spun on those new tires, my 2 front tires were red. So I felt like I went from having control of what I was going to do to I just had to try to survive the best I could.
So being in that survival mode, the rest of the race, of course, you had a couple of cautions that helped out as far as your lucky dog situation and ultimately getting back on the lead lap. I believe at one point you were 2 laps down.
Yeah.
Ultimately coming back to the lead lap. You were still a little off on that pit sequence, but going into those last 15 laps or so, what were your thoughts and ideas on what you had to do to try to get the victory?
Once I got back on the lead lap, I thought that I could win it because honestly, I don't know how the 6 made it that far. He's really good at that though. But I thought it was going to be between me and Viper because I just knew that Rich would have to pit again. But I don't know. The yellows fell perfectly for me to get back on the lead lap because I got the lucky dog and then got right behind the 44 was in the place for the lucky dog. And when the restart happened, I was like, I have to get by him. And then another yellow came out, which allowed me to get back on the lead lap.
Very good. Well, last week you beat me out of that last spot. It was fun to watch you race and almost come away with it. I'm proud of you. You made everybody at SMO proud. As a longtime friend of yours, it was a fun race to watch. Those are basically the 2 questions I had for you. We'll see what Blaine and Rod, if they got anything for you.
I'd say that early spin kind of really messed you up. Your strategy was a little bit different, obviously. Coming into that last situation where you had to, you finally got yourself back on the lead lap, but obviously you would have loved to have tires at that point. How bad were your tires at that, in that junction there? You turn around and just pitted kind of shortly after, but, were your tires pretty bad at that point?
Well, no, the tires were, that last yellow, I was going to pit that lap and go ahead and change tires, and then the yellow came out, so I had to wait, and that's why I took the green and then pitted immediately. Those tires were not in terrible shape, but they were not great. But I was going to go ahead and pit for my last 4, and that spin, which was self-inflicted. I mean, I had nobody to blame but myself. Kind of put me kind of out of it the rest of the race. But look, I was in 9th for most of the race, at least 1 or 2 laps down. So about as good of a recovery as I could make.
That was pretty cool, though. Even though you finished third in points, but the top 3 guys in the championship, finished in the top. So other than Tom Goodman, who had some issues there, kind of got him a few laps down. But congratulations on finishing third. You had a decent year, and I guess the best way to look at it is you didn't run out of fuel this year. So I'll give you a chance to. Unless Blaine, do you have a question for Josh?
No.
No. Okay. Perfect. All right, John.
Congratulations,
We'll give you a
man.
chance to thank anybody and anybody you'd like. The floor is yours.
Well, I appreciate it. Last week was a heck of a race. I mean, that'll forever be one of my favorites. And going into tonight, I felt like I had a really good shot. I ran a lot of good practice laps, and it's hard to predict everything. And I just got in a situation there where the tires were cold, and I just spun myself out, and then I just had to recover from that. And going into tonight, I thought I had a good chance to win it, but it was not to be. And so I'm happy for Rich and Viper, and it's been a fun season. I am looking forward to the next one, and I appreciate my wife letting me race tonight. Today was our anniversary. So and she I told her, she knew at least over a week ago. She was like, "You're going to race that night, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I kind of have to." So we went out to eat and all earlier, but I appreciate her letting me do it. And, Tom and Roger for doing such a great job over here, and putting Josh's eggs all over the cars. And, they have a fun setup here. I wasn't sure. I was skeptical, to be honest, about the tire rule, about only being able to take tires during green. And I thought, I don't know how I'll ever do well with that. But I forgot one thing. Everybody has to pit during green, not just me. So they've just got a really good setup, and thanks to them for everything they've got going here. And thanks to you guys for doing such good broadcasting. That one from last week, I'm going to keep forever. I've shown it to everybody. So
just think, to beat you, you'd have been fighting him for the championship tonight too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, true.
Well, Corey's a very loving wife of yours there to let you come out and race. And Josh, you make me proud. You made SMO proud. You've come a long ways, and it was great to see you battle. It was great to race with you that hard last week, and I'm glad to see you your success and succeeding in the different series.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I know I said it last week, but boy, when I came back to this in 2018, I was having a hard time. I mean, I was all over the place, and that's just a slow grind to do better. So maybe we'll get it next year. I almost won it last year, ran out of fuel. This year, I lost it early in the race, and then next year maybe I'll have all the fuel and all the tires and everything I need.
That's awesome. I thought last night when you got knocked out, you might have gone over and stole the ride from Connie, but you didn't. Don't think you did that, but she didn't end up staying out there much longer after that, anyways. But
yeah, last night was tough. We got bunched up before the green, and I was smoking. I mean, my car was destroyed, and I ran a couple laps, and I mean, I was already out of it. So,
well, congratulations on finishing third in the championship and for the race tonight, and we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'll be hanging around,
All right, you got John Wall, Blaine, and Rod in the booth. Viper, do you have a copy?
I sure do.
All right, John, take it away.
All right, Viper. They're giving the rookie the reins here as far as questions. You led a good portion of the race. You're out front. Tom had some issues. As you know, Josh had some issues. And Rich was kind of just creeping along, just kind of running his race. What was your strategy really going into the race tonight as far as your fuel and tires compared to your competition?
I didn't really have a strategy. Just going as fast as I can and just watch the fuel mileage, and that's pretty much it. Watch the tire wear.
That sounds like something I would do. Let's see here. I saw you and Rich kind of battling back and forth, a little bit of contact. At what point were you going to... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Was your strategy going to be to race him really hard, kind of try to trick him, or were you just going to try to beat him heads up?
I was just trying to race him hard as I could, as long as my tires held out and we didn't wreck each other. That's the main thing.
Yeah, he was able to stretch out that fuel. I know you said just run as hard as you could. Did you have anything? Did you think you could have anything for him if he'd not been on that strategy?
Oh yeah, definitely. I believe I did have something for him tonight.
Very good. Well, you made us proud there again at SMO. You and Josh, you guys ran really great. Those are the questions I have for you. Rod?
Yes, sir. All right, Viper. Well, you had a great run tonight. You led a few laps out there. Just you got. I have to say you got outsmarted by fuel strategy tonight. Last year, Josh too was talking about how he couldn't make it on. He didn't make it on fuel. This year, somebody was able to do that. Did you guys see that strategy coming or no?
I did not see that strategy coming. Actually, I was hoping that I could beat him on tires. What my thought was, and I was hoping for a little caution at the last end. And I knew I could beat him on tires if I had that caution, but caution didn't come out.
We were quite surprised that he was able to make the distance there. Blaine, do you have any copies for copies? Yeah. Well, I got to take a drink here. Hold on. But do you have any questions for Viper?
Oh, man, it was a great race. I love it when it comes down to, like John pointed it out there near the end of the race, we're watching the 4 drivers that can win this thing in 3, or we're running 1, 2, 3. So it was a nail biter for sure.
Yeah, that it was. And I actually got back on the lead lap right at the very last, which is kind of surprising, but it is what it is. Get them next time.
Yeah, it was an awesome run.
All right, well, congratulations on your second place finish tonight and the second place in the points. Give you a chance to thank anybody that you would like to thank for getting you here, helping you, whatever. The floor is yours.
Well, first, I'd like to thank TMP for putting on the races. Thank SMO for letting me come over here. And John, I don't know how you let him in here. I mean, that crazy nut. I don't know. You let anybody here, don't you?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I was waiting for the ejection.
So we forgot to lock the door. He just walked right in.
Well, the other good thing about it is, though, he might be subbing for me on Saturday, so it's a good chance for him to, figure out what he's got to do, and he's going to have to learn a whole different bunch of names and stuff on Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, though. Those are some busy races.
Probably steal my job.
Oh, there is one thing. They did mention a light model series coming up at TMP in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Probably all short track, so something to look forward to.
Yeah, there's some tracks in that list that I've never even heard of before, like Sandusky Speedway. Like, what are some of these? Is Worldwide Tech, that one's a short track?
Isn't that Gateway?
Sandusky's in Ohio. I know that's a real track. The other one, I believe, is Gateway.
Yeah, I was going to say, Worldwide Tech is Gateway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lacrosse Fairgrounds, Memphis, Iowa, Milwaukee. You got some cool tracks.
That should be interesting.
All right,
well,
congratulations. Congratulations on your second place finish, like I said, and finishing second in the points. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And there he goes.
Rich Napick, you go. Rod, Blaine, and John in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you guys.
All right, first I want to say congratulations on the championship, and then second, I'm going to let John do the interviews tonight. We're making the new guy do the interviews.
Thank you.
I got my rookie stripes on there, Rich, so it'll be easy with me.
All right.
Hey, first off, congratulations on the victory. Congratulations on the championship. You fought a hard-fought season. Racing with you on the track, you're super clean. I always enjoy racing with you. This series, this league has really, turned into a great place to race. So again, congratulations on the victory and ultimately the championship.
Thank you. And it is a great place to race. Everybody's awesome here. Really, really good racing.
I've got a couple of questions. The first one was, between you and the other 3 drivers battling for the championship. I saw you kind of chilling out, running about 4th, running your pace, running your race. I had even made a comment that said, "Don't look too far back." But I see Rich. He's kind of keeping a low key. What was your strategy going into tonight's race as far as putting yourself in the right place at the right time, or with your pit strategy, try to work out the best outcome for you?
Fuel was the main thing. I was trying to stretch it farther than everybody else and just see where that panned out with like 20 to go. And then we had that caution with 20 to go, or just a little right around there, 20, 21 to go. And I pitted, I took fuel, and I was good to go the rest of the way. And I thought about taking tires out after the green, maybe 2 or 3 laps. But then Viper pitted with me, and I knew both of us could make it on fuel. And I thought he could make it on tires too. He caught me by surprise when he pitted with like 15 to go. And my tires were probably about half worn at that time. And I'm like, at this point, there's no reason to pit. I should be able to stretch them tires out 15 more laps, which is what I did. I got lucky.
Yeah, we were up here trying to crunch numbers, trying to figure out, what the mindset was between you and Josh and Viper. I did notice that you were about 2 to 3 laps or so later on your pit stops. So with the fuel, how close were you at the end there? How many laps were you to the good?
Before I pitted for that last stop, I was going to pit probably around lap 18. And when I finished the race, I was good. I was good 7 laps.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow. That was a big question I was wondering, is how much, how far you could go. We noticed we were clutching. Maybe you were slowed down a little bit. Maybe I thought maybe you were trying to save, but man, you were really good.
No, the last 5 or 6 laps, when everybody was a lap down, there was no need for me to burn the tires off. So I was just taking it easy and making them last.
That's awesome.
When you and Viper were actually on the same lap and actually battling for the position, you guys were putting on a great show. I saw you guys bang fenders there for coming off one of the corners down the straightaway. You guys put on a great show. I was really a good race to watch, and kind of learn the whole ropes of commentating. That's the questions that I had for you. Congratulations again. You guys, you did a great job tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun racing there with Viper. We were going back and forth. He would get me in the corner up high, and he would lead into turn 1, go a little high, and I could get by him. And then in 3 and 4, he'd pull up high and get me on the straightaway. It was good back and forth battle. I always like racing with Viper. He's clean too. Everybody's clean here. Yeah, it's just a great league.
Awesome. Well, let me bring it back over to Rod and Blaine. Let them give you any more questions. Congratulations again on the championship, and I'll see you next season or on the next series.
Thank you. I'll see you on the track soon, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Well, first thing you'll be over there running the late models that they're coming out with there pretty soon, won't you?
Yeah, that's going to be hit and miss with me. I got some other things going on in the springtime, so we'll see. We'll see what I can do.
Well, yeah, it's getting warmer out there. You got to get that Harley out. You haven't had it out yet this year, have you?
Oh yeah, last weekend. It was warm enough.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations on the championship. That was pretty cool. It was great strategy. I couldn't believe that they I thought for sure you'd had to pit. You wouldn't have been able to make it on fuel. So that was an awesome job on the strategy there, and just congratulations on your championship. I'm gonna let Blaine answer the question if he's got one. If he doesn't, we'll let you thank your sponsors. Blaine is away, so that's good. Perfect. All right, so the floor is yours. Thank who you'd like to thank, bud.
Thanks to you guys for doing a broadcast. You guys do a great job, and I can't wait to watch it. Thanks to Tom and Roger and everybody that races over at TMP, because if they're not there, we're not racing. And thanks to everybody who watched the race, and thanks to family that's going to watch the race probably tomorrow. And it was a great job, and the cuckoo's going off, and it's 11 o'clock.
That's awesome.
Well, congratulations on the championship, and really good job. And like I said, I'll be over there racing with you guys a few times on these late model series, as long as we didn't get to race where I race on Wednesday. But congratulations again, and just an awesome job, great strategy. So good job, bud.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, there we go. So, John, how'd you have a good time up in the booth with us tonight?
This was actually a lot of fun. Like I said, it's my first try at it, other than being interviewed for post-race stuff. I hope I didn't talk a lot. I hope I had some type of positive insight to bring forward. But I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun.
It's a little different, and usually when a third person comes in, the biggest trouble we have, and we really didn't have that, was just stepping over each other. You did an awesome job, great commentary, and so like I said, you did well enough. Blaine's going to see if you want to be there Saturday to cover for me, where I won't be able to make it. So you did an awesome job. And thanks for coming up to the booth and hanging out with us.
Yeah, I'll get with him off air there online, find out what times and everything, and see what we got going on the home front. I know we got some flag football games, but that's during the day. So, but yeah, I had a great time. I get tongue tied real quick, and I don't think I got too tongue tied tonight. So I'm happy about that.
You'd be like me probably. I don't watch the broadcast because I can't stand the sound of my own voice. That's just me. My saving grace is the radio. I do a lot of radio work on the train, so I'm used to having to communicate and talk. Yep. Blaine, you still there? You fall asleep on us? Either that, he had to let the dog out.
Well, real quick before I log off, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come up here and kind of play around with you guys with this. Again, with Tom Musa and Roger, and TMP, these guys, they got a great product. They've put together past 3 years that I've run with them, it's gotten better and better. I've mentioned this before. It's a shorter or smaller crowd of people, but I'll take quality over quantity any day. And these guys really put on a good show and respectful, and I'm proud to call them my second home to SMO.
Yeah, it is a good group of guys. Like you said, we've been impressed with we've done a few of the Aero 88 races, and they were good races. But once we got down near the championship for the Aero 88, we got down to the championship for the IROC series that concluded tonight. These guys put on a great race. I mean, we had caution-free races. We had races with just one caution a night. Tonight was probably the most cautions that they've had all for what we've done with them. So it's a great series, fun to run with. Tom had said something about that. He'd like to get a few more people, obviously, quality people, but he wants to keep it around 20 drivers, and I don't blame him for that. It makes for easier for the admin to run a series when you don't have 40 drivers out there that you have to kind of control.
Oh, I agree 100%. I see Fast Cows is still up there. I wonder what how he's feeling about his run tonight.
Well, there's one way to do that and find out. Tom Goodman, you got Rod, Blaine, and John in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Yes. You did not have the night you wanted to have tonight. Ended up at the end of it there, was it about 3 laps down? What was it that kind of got you in that situation?
Well, there were two specific moments. One was when I went for 2 on my first set of replacement tires because we had so much caution. So I went in at 29 because my left tires were pretty fresh, and I thought this is a good way to not lose too much time with the 2 tires because I needed all the sets, all 18 tires. But when I was driving it keeping in mind that there was a little bit less grip in the front, a little tight. But I looked at my tire wear, and it was at 35% left front, and three laps later, it blew out when I was coming in. That's why I spun out in the pit entry road in the back.
We saw you kind of go off of turn 2. It looked like about off of turn 2 that it blew up. You bounced off the wall, and then, obviously, you struggled to try to get down onto the pit road there. You just couldn't turn the darn thing. So
yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, that's all right though.
But
you still.
Then the other thing was, I was just coming in for 4 tires and fuel, and I was on fumes, and a caution came out while I was coming down pit road. So I, rather than uncheck my tires and put gas in it, which I didn't think of, I did a pass through, and I ran out of gas, so I had to get towed in. That was the major problem.
I think I would uncheck the tires real quick, just put a splash of fuel in it, enough to to get you back out there. Might have been a little bit better chance for you. You never know how the strategy of the races go. Obviously, if you had pitted and got tires, you'd have incurred a penalty. So it's quick decisions. What do? You made the decision that you thought would be keep you from getting penalized.
Well, also I was discussing with Roger at the time. I said, I'm going to pass through. I'm not taking my tires because I'm not on a jack. And that was the understood rule, is that if you were on the jack, you were okay. But if you could pass through, or uncheck your tires, then that's what you do. And Roger had told me, you can go ahead and get tires because you're on pit lane. And I said, I don't think so. And then during that time is when I should have been unchecking my tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had made a comment during the race when you bounced off the wall. I said, well, that's unfortunate, but where he's at, he's probably in a good spot because you get to the pit entry. Also, I had also made that comment saying that you...
I think Blaine fell asleep.
I had also made the comment that on that pit entry there, that second time, you were in the catbird seat with the way that fell, but had that caution come out maybe 10 seconds later, and you had been in your pit stall, you probably would have been the one that had the lap advantage at that point.
Oh, absolutely. And I said that. I said, if I would have been on the jacks, I'd have been looking pretty, because I've had that happen to me before, and it's an advantage.
Well,
Not
you did
intentional, but it's just the way it falls.
Well, you did well this season. It was fun racing with you. I hate that I couldn't make the race, but I had fun up here in the booth calling the shots with them. You ran a great season, and congratulations on your 4th place in the standings.
I think he told me I had 3rd.
Was it 3rd?
In the points, yeah. I have to check it, but I asked him off the cuff. He had just got done with the points, and I think he said 3rd, but I'll check it. But yeah, I was ready though. I was ready. I had a plan. I practiced. I did exactly what I said I had to do after last week's race, and then misfortune comes up, and it's just like Josh, and somebody blew their engine up right away.
And we know you. I've watched in practices. You definitely put a lot of practice in. So anyway, you had a decent season. You didn't quite make it in, but you did on points, and that was pretty cool. So congratulations on a decent season.
Well, yeah, it's one of the best I've done. The only other time was I was in contention for IndyCar ITT title, and I got knocked off by Josh Boyer. But that was a fun bunch of races.
All right, well, congratulations. Just we wanted to ask a few questions about that, and we'll see if Blaine's here. You back yet? You back with us, Blaine?
I'm floating around here somewhere.
There you go. He is back. All right. Well, congratulations, Tom. Thanks for coming
All
down.
right, well, thanks for calling me up, buddy, and thanks for watching me and thinking of me. So I'll see you next time. Late model coming up for the Summer League.
Absolutely. We'll enjoy that.
All right. You guys appreciate what you've been doing, and we'll see ya.
Thanks, Tom.
All
Oh,
right.
he's gone.
I don't know if it was the dog. We kept hearing snoring, so maybe it was the dog we were hearing. But
The dog is out cold, yeah.
Yeah.
I put her bed right next to. I put it on the other side of the room, but it should actually pull it over right next to me.
yeah,
She can't be more than 6 feet away. It's hilarious. There's like a, I don't know. It's like this zone, this comfort zone she's got to be in, you know. But yeah, that
Cool.
that late model mod is a really good one. I like that thing. That'll be a fun little series, and 10 cool little tracks.
thanks, John, for coming in and doing that. And hopefully you'll be covering for me on Saturday.
Yeah, like I said, I had a blast. I'll get with Blaine. Blaine, I'll get with you next day or two, and we'll go over times and see. Hopefully it'll match up well.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Rod might not be able to make it, so I kind of just, you set it up to be a 3-man broadcast, and if one guy can't make it, then at least there's still 2 of you. It's always a little bit easier to deal with, so.
I'll have to get the names of all the other drivers. I only know about 15, 20 of them now. No, I've seen some of their races. I believe the broadcast. I do know a good portion of them.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
I appreciate you guys having me as well. I turn into a pumpkin here pretty soon too. I gotta get up at 3:30, about 3:45 to go to do some choo-choo work.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it. You guys be safe and have a good rest of your night.
Awesome. You too.
There you
There
go.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Very cool too. I like it how it comes down to a fuel game like that. That's pretty sweet. Like,
Yep.
Had the whole entire field lapped, and Viper got his spot back there. You know, he wasn't a complete lap down, only about a couple hundred feet before the line. He was able to get the lap back, but I love it. I love it when it comes down to a fuel strategy game.
I thought it was kind of funny. He had 7 laps of fuel left. So that makes me wonder, why did Viper, kind of go down and pit if he had the fuel to make it? But then again, they all thought differently. I mean, Rich said he was going to go down and pit. When he looked at the tires and he looked at the fuel and said, I can make it. And if they pit, I'm sitting pretty, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, worked out great. Especially, they use the International Race of Champions mod, which is a great way to do it. You get all your leaders, and let's go into the shootout mode and see who can take this thing, and it ended up being epic. Yeah,
my favorite one, the one with the Firebirds. Although the IROC, I guess we'd call them like the 82, 80, and later IROCs, are cool. I always just like that Trans Am mod one. The Trans Am ones, I think they just look aerodynamic and sexy.
Yeah, they look great. Well, that's it, I guess. Another race in their series of the books. Tomorrow we're at RTG. Friday we head over to Primetime Racing League, and I will be to cover you on Friday. I've got Andrew from Top Dragster lending his services on Friday as the Primetime playoffs start in their truck series. That'll be 3 straight Fridays in a row to wrap that up, and of course on Saturday, and then back at Maverick on Tuesday, and all kinds of stuff.
You got a busy week.
Oh man, it's wild, and work's busy too. So it's long days. But
absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have any final words?
Well, I think it was a great race, great championship, good strategy. I think it was awesome, and thanks for TMP for having us come over here and air these for them. And it was a good time, a lot of fun. Looking forward to getting back to my wheel back on there on Wednesdays and do a little bit of racing over ASR. So.
Yeah, man, that'll be great. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for TMP for having us do this. Of course, everybody who interacts with the everybody who interacts with the YouTube video. Of course, we had just over 100 hits again tonight. Thank you very much, everybody who views this live and on the replay. Always
408 subscribers.
Yeah, it's going up. We're climbing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always cool to see the interactions. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, join us tomorrow as FRN does the commentary and I do the production, the Talladega Challenge. But either way, congratulations to Richard Napick for being the champion here at the TMP Winter Series. I think it's the Winter Series,
yeah,
right?
Well, it's a Winter Series kind of deal, but long Winter Series race, but situation. But yes, it is a Winter Series.
Yeah, so the TMP Racing Series of the TMP Championship Series for the winter event, I think. There's a lot of different things going on over here at TMP. It's neat to see how they operate with the tire rules and not being able to get service at certain times. It's neat. Every league's a little bit different, and this was a thing that I'd never even seen before. It was kind of cool. Like, yeah, you can't. You gotta get your service under green. So I was like, oh, okay, how's that gonna work? And like even Josh T said too, like, you're not sure how it's gonna work, but everybody has to follow the same rules. So it's a whole different kind of strategy, and it turned out to be an awesome run. So as always,
very cool setup.
Thanks everybody. Thank you, Mr. Weston.
Yes, sir.
And thanks to John Wall for popping into the booth. That was kind of neat. And as always, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.